Did it again?
Welcome to your awakening. Please stay calm as your reality is adjusted.
Excalibre, welcome back, folks. Another Sol Excalibre. I'm flicking through tabs as usual. Another Sol Excalibre on this moon day evening. Let's see if we got Rumble working yet. We've got Starship Troopers. He's running. Let's see if we get the other one. Does the other one go as well? Yeah, oh, that one's working as well. Cool. Right.
Wow. Hi.
Amazing modern technology. Hello. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah, maybe I should say it's the way I tell them. It's the way I tell them. I know the older people get that reference at some point. You're a bit early, Mascara. Yeah, remind me like much later. Yeah. It's far too soon. Too soon. I could do them all at once, but then, it means we won't have anything to do later. Right, okay, I'll leave that page open. And I'll go back to the StreamYard so I can see all the chat rooms in one go. Cool. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it all seems to be working, same as usual, ticking over. If you hadn't guessed, the subtitle for tonight is based purely or mainly just on the, I say purely, mainly, make up your mind, one or the other, mainly on the connection between the fact that it's the 33rd episode and it's that magic number again, 33. So I thought I'll do something that begins with two C's, CC. And
the daily was 233.
Yeah, double 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cookies Crackers isn't exactly meant to reference anything in particular that's going on at the moment, other than it sounds a bit like a comedy show. Like I'm going to do stand-up or something like Crackers, as in crack a joke. And that's why I did It's the Way I Tell Them reference. For the older British people get that reference, but I don't know if you're international folks probably won't know who the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, British comedian.
There's
a way I tell them.
Some people say.
Oh. Am I?
No, I am.
Oh, you are.
Maybe because I'm not talking, but
yeah.
Let me check my volumes. Let me check. Is it okay on your end?
You're a little bit quieter than usual, but
okay,
it's not too quiet, if that makes sense.
Streaming. Oh, I see. Something happened here.
That's more like it. Yeah.
That's more like it. I'm back. Thanks, Snake.
Like I said, with cans on, I hadn't noticed that much.
StreamYard did something, so they probably. That's always messing up. Yeah. That's doing shit. So, yeah.
Well, they've been adding more update stuff, hasn't it? So, yeah, it's probably just gone back to default.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Cookies Crackers as well, in the reference of some picking out information from the clown world, basically, because there's been a lot of crazy fucking shit going on recently. So I thought I'll just pick 3 things and we can sort of point at them, and some of them are a bit silly, some of them are, I'm terribly sorry, but they're going to have a bit of a black pill effect to them. But that's just the reality of things, But they are the darkest black pills. They're blacker than black because they're black, y'all. See, I did a funny. Does it remember? No, never mind. I'm not very good at comedy. I just do it, and sometimes it's funny. But if I try to be funny, it just comes out as terrible dad jokes. So, I'll leave that to Rob.
Yeah,
Rob
I got
was the
no
best dad jokes.
drum noises. Oh, I do. I have a bongo bong, but that's different.
No,
I got a gong though.
It's more like we're about to start the fucking movie.
8 o'clock news.
The introduction to the movie just before the main feature starts.
Yeah.
What company was that? Was it Rank? I think it was R-A-N-K, Rank, and it was the guy banging the gong just before the movie starts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was also a game show on BBC TV. I think it was BBC years ago called The Gong Show.
Mm-hmm.
Was it BBC or ITV? Oh, whatever. I don't remember. It was.
Sorry, I caught you off here with the gong.
No, it was that long ago. It was. I can't remember. Yeah. But we'll just talk about the clown world kind of shit that's been happening recently because there is such an immense amount of hypocrisy. I thought it'll go as like the cookies crackers are just taking the piss. But it is with a sort of black pill element to it because even though I can point at stuff and define it as that inverted effect of the clown world, there's still a genuine kernel of unpleasantness to these stories in one way or another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ramifications of each story has definite unpleasant connections. So we may be laughing at our own demise in a little kind of way, but as I've said many times, you've got to have a bit of gallows humor because you're not getting out of here alive. Nobody gets out of here alive, as Frank Zappa said. There's a truth to that which you need to accept. So you might as well have a bit of a laugh on your way out. I'm just scrolling back up the chat. Hello to everyone in the chat. I was just looking to see if got a reply. Not yet. Okay. Hello, James. James was second in the chat tonight, simply because I made sure I got in there first. So I deliberately typed first in the chat.
Yeah, but you're a participant. You don't count.
So, exactly.
Sorry, you're excluded.
Cheating. Yeah. I was just being a clown because I already knew as soon as the show was going up. So, it's... it's just...
But James was there.
Yeah, so James was there first in all the chat. So well done, James. And Ridiculizer, good evening. I did send you a message if you saw it. I have already grabbed it, so if it's okay, I would like to play it later if that's all right with you. And Rick, good evening, Rick. Rick was in the chat earlier as well. I'm losing my voice already tonight, so you'll have to put up with me doing Super Fry. Don't hurt him, Super Fry. He's my main squeeze. That's like a bastardization of Superfly. If you've ever seen that movie, Car Wash. Yeah, anyway, that's a bit of a really obscure reference. Yeah. Paula, good evening. Yeah, I do Super Fry tonight because my voice is just gone.
It's ASMR cookie.
I know back in the day, some people used to say they liked falling asleep to me ranting about shit, which I thought was a bit weird. Not in the... I didn't take offense that people fell asleep, but just that they found my ranting to be soothing in that kind of way. Yeah, I'm ranting about all the shit going on in the world and you fall asleep. What the fuck? I'm glad that you feel safe and comfortable enough to be able to fall asleep to the noise of my voice. That's cool, yeah. But I suppose it's just because I get so connected to some of this information. I don't take it as offensive, but I do get a bit sort of bemused as well. Why don't you think it's important? I think it's important. That means you have to think it's important as well. Which, of course, is just a completely biased perspective. But there you go. Made in UK, good evening, mate. And Lopsum, good evening. And Mascara Snake, good evening. And then he was shouting about the runes straight away. Yeah, I'll do it later. Brandon Ben, good evening. From Virginia. Cool, mate. Hope you're all right over there. Little bit of a time difference in there. What, about 5 hours, I think, to Virginia. I'm not sure. Is that East Coast time or Mountain time or whatever? Yeah, but a few hours difference. So good afternoon to you. Scrolling. Yeah, remind me later to do a rune and I will do one. Rich T, good evening. Right, I think I've scrolled down. Yeah, not seeing a reply from Dave yet, but keep an eye out for that. I'll play it anyway if he doesn't respond. If you're listening, yeah, I will play it anyway. I'll give people the link to your video, of course, like I always do. But you have a right to say no before the hour is up, and then I'll play it anyway. Right. Yeah, this evening was not exactly much in the way of a kind of theme like I often do. I think there is, simply because, like I said, he's sort of pointing out the clown world shit that's been going on for a while now. And there seems to have been a little bit of a lull in some of the bigger stories that have been happening recently. We were talking like we do, and Pete sets up the room and whatever. We sit and have a little chat before we go live. And we were sort of talking about this possibility that maybe they're waiting for something major to happen. It could be something like a false flag. It could be something like an assassination. But it seems that all of the press, not just here in the UK, not just in America, all of the world's media seem to have taken a little bit of a breather for the past week or so.
Well, they're under attack, right? The BBC is under attack right now, so
yeah,
they're very careful at the moment with their reporting.
Yeah, maybe the rest of the media as well are waiting to see what happens with that. Because if Trump goes ahead, which I think he probably would, and this makes a good segue as well, because the first thing I was going to talk about was the recent email releases about Trump and Epstein, because that's been occupying, if anything is what could be defined as the major story of the week, I think the release of those new emails are that major story of this week. Certainly the past few days, most of the press has been mentioning it in one way or another.
Yeah. Best memes as well.
yeah. The one you used as the thumbnail for the Daily today, Donald Lewinsky.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah. Today I had the Times. Yeah. Times? Man of the Year or something, and he had him blowing Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba.
But I have a clip, because there were clues, Cookie. It's a short one.
Okay.
Yeah, he has them actually there.
Is that Mar-a-Lago?
Yep.
Yeah, other people,
to me, this is the gayest thing. Yeah. I kind of.
As other people have pointed out, he likes playing the YMCA.
Yeah.
Yeah, which back in the day,
there were clues.
In the 80s into the 90s, the YMCA as a band were the epitome. They were the cultural media creators for the gay scene. Yeah, they were literally like the totemic icon of the gay scene back then.
Yeah.
So him constantly using that as a musical sort of intro music, he likes to make an entrance to that song. It's sort of like, mate, do you not get it? that's like, that was them and proudly announcing their gayness in public.
Mhm.
That wasn't meant to be taken as like them saying we're really macho, like heterosexual men. No,
No.
completely the fucking opposite, right?
Ah, now we know, Cookie.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
I
it all
don't
makes sense now.
considering his age. But that's the thing that gets me. Considering age, I don't
Yeah.
believe that he wouldn't be aware of that connotation, and yet he persistently used that song in particular, but other YMCA songs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's done conventions and talking shit and whatever. Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
like, how did he not realise, or did nobody, like one of his assistants, say to him, like, "Hey, Mr. Trump, don't you realise this is like a gay icon? So every time you walk out to this song, it's like you're declaring that you're homosexual."
Mhm.
I don't get that somebody like him wouldn't register that, because he's so focused on the way he presents himself.
Mhm.
That's one of his main shticks, isn't it? That's how he does his art of the deal, is how he presents himself and how
Yeah.
he projects his personality into a situation. So
Well, we know that these leads like this, right? The dressing up and all that shit. Remember this one?
Covered. It's
yeah, with
Giuliani showing his
Giuliani,
softer
yeah.
side,
Yeah.
dressed in drag in a comedy skit with Donald Trump.
You know, you're really beautiful.
The spoof was filmed 16 years ago when
Yes, it
Giuliani
wouldn't
was mayor
surprise
of
me
New
if he
York
was
for a
Bubba.
charity dinner, so it was all in good fun.
Oh, you dirty boy, you.
But there is that classic picture,
Hang
the
on.
oil painting of Bill Clinton wearing
Yeah.
that blue dress.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interconnections here, isn't there? So that's right. Like I was saying,
well, again, they like to show it as well. They play with this shit, like.
revealing it in public, in your face,
Yeah, and then
even
tell
though,
you that you're a fucking idiot if you
Yeah.
say something, right?
or you're a
Yeah.
weird conspiracy theorist or something.
Yeah.
So, you're one of them black helicopter guys. Yeah.
It's pure humiliation kind of a ritual what the Giuliani is going through,
Yeah.
and his boss Trump.
I think it's. Sorry, I just noticed that more people joining the chat. Good evening.
Hello.
Genuinely concerned.
Hello.
Roberta Rhymes, word. Good evening, mate. Bird is the word for you.
Yeah.
Tactical Gnome, good evening. I don't know, I saw some more. Groove Dodger, good evening, mate. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Gitmo is known as YMCA. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah,
well, the whole Guantanamo Bay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Odin in the Flames, good evening. Yeah, it's been about 4 years, if you hadn't noticed. If you didn't notice when I said, like, go and subscribe to me backup channel. Because,
He hasn't been gone for real, but yeah. This channel has been.
Yeah, this particular channel was shut down for 4 years, but
Yeah.
and it just
Well, glad you're back.
it again.
Hi.
Just in case people did miss what I said the last week or the week before, whenever it was. The very fact that this channel is back again proves that YouTube never deletes anything. None of it is ever actually deleted. It just gets removed from public accessibility.
Yep.
Same with the other major platforms like Facebook and X and whatever. They all do the same. You may tell them to delete your account, but they never truly delete them. They just make them private, so you can't access them anymore.
And they can do everything with it.
Yeah. Facebook in particular has been proven in recent history, maybe a few years ago now, but it was proven that they still keep updating your profile. Even if you delete your account, they put it into seclusion on the server, but any information they pick up about you and your activity gets added to that profile.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a perpetual profile on you that they keep on their servers. It's literally exactly what it was originally described as when it was the LifeLog project. before they turned it into the deception of
Well, that's the problem,
Facebook
right?
and
You
whatever.
can turn off or turn on all the privacy things and switch off this and do all that. But if one family member has not done that,
Yeah,
you're in it.
it's still connecting you. Yeah,
Well, it's grabbing your phone, your
especially if you,
everything
yeah, that's
through
what I was going
them.
to say. If you've got synced devices,
Hmm.
then yeah, it leapfrogs across all your devices that are interconnected.
Well, it allows them to read your emails, get in your messages, do all those things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And even though I deleted my account in something like, I think it was 2014 when I finally deleted it,
Hmm.
I still, approximately every 3 months, I think it is, something like 3 or 4 months, I get emails from Facebook telling me about one of the people that I was linked to when I had the account posting something on Facebook.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I get like a notification saying so and so has just posted.
Yeah,
And then
click and reactivate your Facebook account.
it gives you like the first few words to sort of tempt you to say you want to see what the rest of the message was, don't you? Yeah, that's how predatory it is. Yeah, that's partly, I'm mentioning that now simply because I think it's relevant when talking about this kind of clown world effect. This is something that I wanted to reiterate, and why I said some of this is going to have a kind of black pill element to it, which I don't apologize for, but this is just the, if you're going to have the hopium effect of let's have a laugh at some of the stupidness because it just seems so stupid, you've got to have a dose of reality in the other hand. Yeah, so unfortunately that means you end up with a bit of that kind of black pill shit in your other hand, to balance what you think is good. Yeah, the hopium has to be balanced with the shit of reality.
A bit of that is the irony on digital ID, right?
Yeah.
Because millions of people just happily splat their fucking whole ID, including their fucking flange and pussy and whatever the fuck, private parts and all of it on the internet.
Mhm.
And then they complain about privacy.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Yeah, sign
But
up
you want to
for,
see my privacy? You can pay $10 and I'll show you my privacy.
Now they
All of
sign
it.
up for services that claim they will hide your activity, but they don't really.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
They collect it for them. Thank you.
At a surface level, yes, they protect you from general criminality and shit like that
From
on the
commercial
internet,
stuff, yes.
but from the system itself, no, it doesn't
No.
hide you or your activity at all.
No, it puts a red flag on you when you start doing shit like that.
But that kind of oh shit, I've brain farted now. What was I just talking about?
Privacy?
No, prior to that.
Wait, I can rewind.
The clown world effect.
Right.
Needing some balancing, and what had I just referenced about the clown world? Something that we were just talking about.
Well, people are very willing to give up their privacy for nothing, right?
Facebook and stuff. Yeah.
Just to get a kudos in an app or a like or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, the reality of that lifelog effect and how it is profiling pretty much everyone on the planet now, or close to, certainly like 70+% of the population of the entire planet. No matter whether you think what the number they tell you is true or not, it doesn't matter if it's 6 billion or 1 billion or whatever. I'm talking about a percentile of the total. Yeah, whatever the total is doesn't really matter. But as a percentile, you're talking 70+% of the world's population is now linked in through one method or another into the internet. And on that internet that we all make regular use of, or we're forced to in some manner most of the time by the system, there are these kind of platforms, these kind of companies that are predatory about your data. So a company like Facebook, even though you tell it, I want to delete my account, you go through all the process, and you have to go through several pages. Yeah, it's not just a matter of like, oh, delete my account, click a button, done. No, you have to go through a few pages and click a few different buttons to make it do it. I remember when I did it, I was like, oh, it's one thing to sort of make sure you don't accidentally delete shit, but they forcibly make you go through several steps to try and put you off. Yeah.
Yep.
You go through all that process. You tell it, delete my information, please. Thank you very much. Goodbye. I've had enough of your shit.
Mm-hmm.
They still keep it on file. And not only do they still keep it on their files on server, they continue to update it with your information, whatever they can get hold of about you, because the creation of that profile is too valuable to them as a data resource.
Mm-hmm.
So they can profit from the existence of that file in one way or another. So yeah, they would prefer you to.
Well, the government also forces them, right, to keep it on file for 9 months now.
Yeah, there
6
is a
to 9
legal
months?
requirement to keep it for a certain time. Yes,
Yeah.
but this is
So
beyond.
they'll use that as an excuse. That's one, right?
Yeah. This is beyond that. Like, this is
Yeah,
where
I know.
the internet becomes that kind of, and I know many people have said this many times recently. Data is the new gold.
Yeah.
You know, so information about you, even if you make the effort to keep yourself somewhat private and you don't put all your info online, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever they can get about you.
No, and
But that includes your activity, so your behavior, what time you log on, what pages you go to, that kind of information. Yeah, it's all data. Go on.
Yeah, but I think it's a game, right? So if you want to have anonymity, you know how to fucking, prep yourself, protect yourself, kind of move in a different way on the internet than a normie would, right? So
yeah, walk with a quiet step.
Yeah, I was going somewhere with this, but I know I lost my fucking thread. I'll get back.
We're having a brain fart night tonight.
Yeah, I had a brain fart.
Good evening, Ridiculous at Court. Cheers, right? I'll do that later when we get up towards the hour then. Cool, that's good, right? Yeah, I thought it was an appropriate track to play as well. And the video I think you did this time is really good, really good. It's come out really good, right? So, yes, I will share that and we'll play it on the hour or thereabouts when I take a breath. But yeah, it was just to add in that point about the fact that what started out as a deliberate data harvesting project from one of the agencies, you know, you can debate whether it was the CIA or whether it come from somewhere else originally or whatever. You know, it came from out of the shadow world, basically. That desire to create a third-party company that, under the guise of being a private company that offers a service to the consumer, they can harvest your data as much as they can about you, which was how Facebook started, basically.
Yeah.
And
but
it's been
I got my
ongoing.
Go on. I got it back. So on that point, the internet was created, right? That you always have all the data and it's always there, right? Everything you put on the internet stays on the internet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We have the internet way time back machine, right? So your Facebook page is still there and on the way back machine, technically. So even if Facebook wants to erase your history, they couldn't because it's still back up somewhere. Yeah, for safety. So there's no powerful corporation that could, delete your data. It's still there in the Wayback Machines. Allegedly. That's kind of the setup. It was part of the setup of the internet, right? That you cannot just erase and delete stuff.
And at the same
now it's being turned into a weapon and it's used against us, but there are benefits to this. It's not
But at the same time,
it's at the core of the internet, actually. Like
that was also
the
offered,
openness.
And this I think was a bit more back in the day. Maybe this has gone a bit more sort of off the edge in terms of people don't think it's feasible, full stop. But it used to be offered as kind of like the rocking horse shit, that there was some kind of software or system that could truly erase your presence from the internet if you could get access to it. And that concept has been woven into a few different narratives, including cultural media like Mr. Robot and other sci-fi shows. I say sci-fi simply because they're dealing with technology rather than, not talking about space travel or whatever. But that kind of potentiality was seeded back. I remember back in like the 90s with what was it called? Hackers, that shitty, cheesy movie. That was late 90s, I think that come out.
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. And even in like Matrix or, there's these kind of concepts where the idea that maybe there is somebody who has access to some kind of software or device that could truly erase you, or if you were somebody who works on the inside or is connected to the inside, are there systems that enable you to be truly a ghost in the machine, to basically make you invisible within the machine? And I think that's pretty much a given when you get into the secret services, the alphabet agencies, etc. They're going to have methods of making use of this technology in a way where they are pretty much invisible, certainly to the average user. You're not going to know they're there. They will be literally like a ghost in the machine as far as you're concerned. Yeah. That's not truly being erased or truly being invisible, but it's certainly very, very hidden compared to the average consumer of this technology.
Well, that's what these products offer you, right? You become kind of anonymous to Google and all the sales and Amazons, and every time you say bicycle, you get advertising for bicycles, right? That's kind of what they
Boobies.
are.
Google boobies.
Boobies. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of what they do, right? It's not a high level Secret Service FBI. It's gonna, we're gonna erase everything that's on the Pentagon servers, and
No,
at all.
that kind of
So
shit's not possible.
it's not real privacy. It's just protection from corporate trolls. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they're parasites, so they want to, suck
they
on
want
you.
the data.
Yeah.
In the same way as, again, this can segue back into the information that's come out recently about Trump and the Epstein connection. This is an element of blackmail as well. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, they're not only profiling you in terms of like what kind of products you like to buy and whatever, they're looking at your sexual habits and your perversions and fetishes and all that kind of little snippets of information that they may be able to grab or buy even from a third-party vendor. And that all just gets amalgamated into your profile.
Yeah.
So they are basically building a profile that will enable them to blackmail you if they choose to.
Oh yeah, because they also know what your friends are up to and your girlfriend is up to, and everything everybody around you is up to. So yeah.
So again, that brings us back to how could Trump not have had the forethought that whenever he presents himself in this kind of way, at some point somebody's going to take it literally that he's announcing that he's homosexual. And then we get these leaks coming out, these email leaks with this reference in where it's sort of like, well, how much more evidence do you need now, people? I've got to show it. I know I've shown it hundreds of times, but yeah, I've been saying it for years, ever since before the fucking 2016 election. Yeah, and again, we go all the way back to some of the subjects that have been hanging around for a number of years now, things like the concept of opium and the re-engagement with the political system. And I find it interesting now to watch and to hear the way a lot more people are starting to have that sort of, and I've said this in the past, there's many ways that you take, it's interesting as well synchronistically that left this background image on for tonight. People are encouraged to take the first step on their awakening process for various different reasons. Yeah, it's different for everyone, basically. There's a lot of similarities with what usually I feel anyway. There is a lot of similarities and commonalities with what is often the first cause, the first step for people. Yeah, for most people, it's usually because they've suffered some kind of loss. Yeah, and that loss can take many forms, but it's something that causes them to have to stop and take a breath from the shock and the trauma and the grief of it. Whether it doesn't mean the loss of a person or anything like that. It could be a severe financial loss, like you've been made bankrupt. Yeah, but whatever it is, it's something that causes such a major interruption to your life that it forces you to stop and take a spiritual breath, as it were. Yeah. And in that moment of reconsideration, you suddenly get this flood of questioning coming into your mind, making you go, well, if they lied to me about that, then what else have they lied to me about? You know, those kind of questions. Or if they're going to do this to me, even though I've been an active proponent of the system, you know, I've supported the system, I've voted every 4 years, I've been paying my tax every year, you know, I'm a good citizen, but they treat me like this. You know, they come and take my home off me, they take my business off me, etc. Something happens that creates that energy that gets people to start asking those questions that are the first step on that road. Yeah, but usually they end up very quickly asking what are political questions, because they get to that point where it's like, well, why would they do this to me? Why would they treat me in this way? And the they in that question are the people who claim to be in positions of authority. So politicians, your presidents like Trump, etc. Also the judicial system of whatever country you live in, that kind of institutional authority. You start to question those things, because whatever it is that you've experienced in your life has caused you to take that stop, take that breath. And in doing so, you start realizing that there are things that you've been deceived over or tricked over, or just completely conned into believing as if it's real. You've just had something happen that proves to you that it's not real. It's illusionary for some reason, yeah. So you start asking questions about why and how do they do this shit to me? How do they do it? You know, the how is usually when people start looking into what are commonly called conspiracy theories and shit like that. Yeah. But that kind of methodology of propaganda, which is political, yeah, all propaganda is based in political manipulation of some form. That's a part of what I think defines it as propaganda. I'm saying I think this is just my opinion. I'm sure some of the people out there, the academics, would probably tell me I'm completely wrong, whatever. I think, you know, propaganda is basically a form of aggressively manipulative politics. That's what it is. You know, it's like the emanation of political will to try and trick or deceive or cajole or nudge, as they call it in a modern sense, people psychologically, to influence them to choose to support your cause or your campaign, etc. You know, so it's politically based. But what inevitably happens sooner or later, usually somewhat sooner for most people, dependent on I think, and I know this might sound a bit judgmental. I don't mean it to be judgmental. I'm trying to be analytical in this kind of sense. Yeah. I think the speed that it occurs varies based on the level of the trauma that the person experienced in the first place. So if you experience something that really completely disrupts your life to such a degree that you know, psychologically, spiritually, you fall flat on your face, you hit rock bottom, and you have to climb your way back up out that hole, that kind of situation, you know, then you usually get beyond the political question fairly quickly, because you eventually realize, once you've asked a lot of the political questions, you realize that this is actually more about a spiritual basis, because we're talking about principles. You know, we're talking about principalities as it defines it in the Bible, you know, but that's just another way of saying principles. You know, but you're talking about the question of, well, what is authority? Why is there this political system? Why are these people who say they're working as a politician and they want to represent me as long as I vote for them, blah, 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 blah. You know, you take the step beyond that layer of the claim to authority, because the claim to authority is literally that they're claiming to act in authority of somebody else.
Is it moral and dogma?
It could be, yeah, both combined. The dogma is the repetition of the belief in that shit, and yeah.
The belief, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, because all authority is based on belief, yeah. Be a lie. Be lie thee. Yeah, it's a merger or an anagram of the word lie and live, as well as throw a B in there just for the sake of it, because you're a being. But yeah, it's similar phonetically as well. Be, live, live.
Yeah. Tell live vision. Huh?
I'm sure if you dug around in the etymology, you'd find some interconnections there with that root of that word, those words. But yeah, it is based on belief systems. All authority is pure belief, because there is no such thing as authority in reality. It's a principle
morale.
we adopt. Yeah,
We've seen,
morale.
like, Gaza, exposed
it comes from
that
the same
part.
root. Yeah, I know that comes from the same root, moral and morale. It is basically the same root. But yeah, we choose to follow morals. We give ourselves morals because they enable us to have, well, allegedly.
Yeah.
But they enable us to have better lives when we live in groups. If you lived on your own on one of those mountains in the image, if you lived a real total hermitage lifestyle, you wouldn't really need morals, would you? Morals would be somewhat meaningless because it's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no morals are something that are purely human based.
I could hurt myself.
But they are, you could. But so what? There's just you. You're the only person that's suffering in that respect, aren't you? So what does it matter?
Yeah. Is that morale? Is that a moral thing to do? You could argue.
That's up to you.
Maybe.
It's up to you. There's no other person there to take damage from anything you're doing.
No, that's right. I get that. Except you.
Because that's what morals are really about. They're principles to enable us to live together in shared spaces. So basically, they are the foundations of what makes what we call a society or civilization. That's part of, I think, why Pike in particular was so fixated on that, morals and dogma. That's what defines a culture and a civilization. What basis, what foundation stones do they use to build their society on, the morals, and what dogmas do they repeat? In other words, what creates the culture? Because culture is literally what we repeat. Yeah. The things that we call culture are habits and belief systems and ceremonies and whatever, the things that we repeat. That's all.
Well,
so we repeat.
I know in Ireland there are no morals. Well, they do everything to avoid anything close to morals. Right?
Is it something to do with Trump?
Well, the islands, right, or that whole fucking club, like that. They don't.
The big club.
They have other idea of morality, right?
Oh, hello! I nearly said Nitsad in the chat. Dustin greeting, right?
Oui.
Yeah, go on, play it. I'm sorry, I was distracted scrolling up the chat for a second. Carry on.
Well, it's not a clip, but I have a clip, but that's something else. But no, it's like they have this. They oppose this morality upon us, like, oh, you should not do this. You should be a nice guy. You'll be like the choir boy. Meanwhile, the priest is sucking off the fucking, choir boys.
Well, what makes a moral into a rule of social order?
Well, it works for them that they have no morals, right? Because
think of what encourages you to accept living to a moral standard, which is the equivalent of living to a rule of order, like the Ten Commandments or the law of the land. What causes you to follow
do as thou wilt, right?
Yeah,
that's the opposite of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What is it that makes you inclined to follow a moral principle?
I don't know. It intrigues me because they seem to think that it's a very appealing kind of thing to do, right?
Can I say it then? Because I think you're missing why I'm asking you the question.
Go. Yeah.
Consequences. Just simple as that. When you live alone up on that mountain, there's nobody else around you to bring any consequences to you for whatever the fuck you choose to do. If you decide to try and fondle a bear and the bear eats you, that's the consequences of you being immoral with a bear. Yeah, but you see what I mean? Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm
consequences,
fucking yanking your chin
yeah,
now. So, yeah.
morals
I get it.
are
And they have no accountability. They have no responsibility.
as
They have none
far
of
as
that.
they're concerned, they face no consequences
No.
because they are the ruling class. Yeah, they see themselves as separate to the rest of us. So therefore,
Right.
there's no one that is their peer that can bring consequences upon them because they have people that they can use to prevent those consequences from taking
Yeah.
place.
It's a balance, right? It's a yin yang, and they don't have the yang. They only have yin.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
As far as they're concerned, they can do whatever the fuck they want because nobody will ever come and deal with them for doing what they do.
Well, so far.
This is why they inevitably descend into abject degeneracy because that's how
To
they
see
can
how far
exert.
they can push this.
But
Maybe.
no, it's because that's the only way they can exert control over each other. Because if you
Alright.
know that you cannot exert consequences onto the other party, because
Mhm.
they're in a sense physically as strong as you, not necessarily personally, but they have,
Yeah.
you know, people around them that will protect them from consequences that you try to put on them. They know that you will never be able to do anything to them. So how do you manipulate them? How do you influence them? How do you control them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do it by dragging them down into abject degeneracy, which you can then use as leverage against them because their protectors, their enforcers are a limited number. If it was a total population that turns against them, they won't survive that. Yeah. Unless they disappear from public view completely. Yeah. Which is why some of them do that over time. Eventually, some of them decide to disappear in the background somehow.
But do they actually believe that there is no ultimate judgment, like Lop said?
Some of them believe that.
Because when you die, there's the pearly gates.
I accept that some of them believe that. Right? That's why I say it that way. I accept that they believe it. I personally don't believe that, but I accept that some of them do, and that's part of why they do what they do, because they think there is literally no consequences ever, even in a spiritual world, if they think there is one. Most of them are atheistic. They think there is nothing but this.
No.
Yeah, they are convinced that there is nothing but this.
Mm-hmm.
So they have no concern about what happens after they're dead. Yeah.
They'll find out.
Maybe, yeah.
I hope so.
Prefer to think that way, but even that could be considered a level of hopium.
That's hopium for sure.
Depends.
Well, yeah.
How much
No, there's a definite there.
Yeah, it's down to your own personal choice of faith. If you think there is something, then yeah.
I don't know about hell and heavens and those things. I think it's all the same. But
I think this place is heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Like many of the great thinkers over the centuries have told us that, or explained it to us in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, even down to literal comedians. I was inspired partly tonight to do this the way I'm doing it by Bill Hicks. I promise there will be a big throbbing dick joke at some point later in the show.
Yeah.
You just got to stick around and put up with me ranting at you for another hour or so, you know. A big shout out to Bill Hicks wherever he is on the other side, you know. I think he's fucking sat there with a massive bucket of popcorn laughing his fucking tits off.
Yeah.
Because this is the level of the crazy fucking clown world we've got to, where there is a preponderance of evidence that however you cut it, that Epstein guy, whether you believe he's dead or not, doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that he acted as a linchpin, a facilitator, similar to Savile, yeah. But that Epstein guy was interconnected to a whole bunch of people who seem to have this attitude of they don't care about consequences. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want. And they're going to deliberately drag each other into situations of abject, crazy degeneracy. So somebody like Epstein acting as a facilitator for a group of people that have those kind of attitudes, those kind of proclivities, as they would say. Yeah, do you need any more evidence? Do you need literal video of them doing horrible, nasty shit to people? And even then, people will say the videos are faked, you know? This is where we get to the point of it has to be a clown world, because most of the world's population put up with being ruled over, and I'm using the bunny ears deliberately, because the only reason these rules work on us, like I was saying about the morals and the idea of morals, the only reason they work is because you agree to stick to them. Yeah, morals only count if you agree to uphold them, like any principle. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are consequences to them, and yeah.
As far as we're concerned, when we interact with each other, we work from that basis that we believe, that we have faith, not just belief, we have faith that there will be consequences for shit that we do if we are immoral. Yeah, we might not, depending on what level of immorality you're talking about, we might not expect some major serious consequences. It depends what your immorality is that you're carrying out, but we accept that is the environment of the reality we exist within. If we fuck around, we find out. But they don't. They fuck around and they don't give a shit about finding out, because as far as they're concerned, they're the ones that do the finding out.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is why I say that clown world inversion. We're sat there looking at them, expecting them to act in the same way that we do, and to perceive life and reality and the value of your very existence as being worth the effort of living to those kind of moral expectations. They don't.
No.
Certainly not when it comes to you. They have that kind of attitude for themselves personally, yeah. But even people around them in their life, close associates and friends, look at the Epstein list. Close associates and friends, just like Maxwell. Supposedly he was very, very important to them. He was very influential. He was a major linchpin in a lot of their operations. He got tossed off his own yacht. That's how much they value you.
Did he?
To all intents and purposes, it seems that way, right? Or he certainly bowed off the stage.
Oh yeah, off the stage. Yeah.
But whichever, he was no longer a pawn.
An
on
asset.
The table.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or maybe you should say bishop, because I think
his foundations are still there and very much in America.
Definitely,
right? So.
Yeah, and definitely still having major influence now, right up to the point where we're talking about things like these so-called Epstein leaks. Why are they even being fucking leaked? The guy was convicted of being a pedophile 20 fucking years ago, but they're still playing this game of kick that can down the road. And even when information comes out, even when more evidence comes out, we just keep going, oh, no, it's not what you think it is. It's fake. It's a con job. It's a deception. No. This is the stage we've got to where people are still falling over themselves to gobble the hopium that there's this guy who's supposedly anti-establishment, who's going to be saving us all because he just loves us all so much, because he's such a fantastic popularist. He just cares about the people.
Yeah, look, for me, it all has to do with Israel and what's happening over there. So, it's pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah, the rebuilding. Yeah, it's going to be a highly profitable project for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and he agreed to God knows how many billions, and them now becoming the leader of the Five Eyes.
They always were, mate. It always was.
Well, officially, they're not part of it.
Well, this is something I've argued for years, and quite a few other people that are, how do I put it, more serious about the kind of information they look into, As in, they're not just watching any old fucking video on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, they're actually serious researchers. They're convinced that was the case all along. It's always been the Six Eyes, and they've been the hub at the center of that process. They probably suggested the idea right from the start because it perfectly suited their domination of that technology at the time. and it's led us to where we are now. You know, Larry Ellison owning most of the media.
Yeah, they have infiltrated
in
all the
America,
eyes before, right?
Yeah, the Oracle system being intertwined into the internet just as much as Google is, all that kind of shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of the research, R&D.
I think pretty much ever since I've been doing these shows, I've been talking about it from the point of view of the 6 eyes, not the 5.
I know, but now it's official and it's now okay.
Yeah, but so was the Epstein shit official.
I know, right? But that's it. Trump is just doing everything that Israel just, please put it to the paper. Okay, make it official, right? He's doing everything.
Welcome to the cloud world.
Everything, and I know why, because Bubba. They already put the thing out like,
Hey, Bubba.
Bubba.
Hey, Bubba.
Right?
I need
he's
to
not.
dick in my mouth, Bubba.
He's sweating like a motherfucker. Like, oh my god, Bubba. But Bubba is not Billy Bob. I think Bubba might be Michelle, Mike.
I did wonder, and I feel
that
this needs to be added into the conversation, because I don't know if they had this over in America, so it might not have reached there yet. But surely there's a possibility that what he was actually referring to was Hubba Bubba, and whether Trump had managed to successfully blow a bubble with his chewing gum.
No. The brother came out. Oh, we didn't mean it was Bill Gates. It was somebody else. Blah. They didn't dispel the blowing. They didn't dispel any of that. So
it wasn't Bill Clinton. It was Bill Gates.
It was a Bubba. So I know how they talk in those circles about black people, right? They're all Bubbas, and so I don't know. I think it's a black person, personally.
Bubba Gump. Wasn't that from Forrest Gump?
Maybe he had some blackface on. It could be.
Bubba Gump
with blackface.
Who was Bubba Gump Shrimp? I know that's off a movie somewhere, isn't it?
That's a Bubba in a movie.
Was it Green Mile? No, fucking hell.
No, the other one. The prison one, isn't it?
The Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, wasn't that a Bubba?
Bubba Gump? He sold shrimp, or Bubba Gump?
Forrest Gump? Forrest Gump.
No, there was Forrest Gump. I'm sure there's a Bubba Gump something.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, David.
Yeah, he's in both. He's in the Shawshank and in
Forrest Gump, and Green Mile.
Shawshank and Green Mile.
Yeah. But I'm sure
Bubba.
A fast food restaurant in New Orleans or something that specializes in shrimp, and it's called Bubba Gump Shrimp.
It's code for something, for sure.
Maybe that's whatever. Yeah, the Bubba. Is it Bubba Hump Shrimp? I thought it was Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. Bubba Gump Shrimp. He's from Forest. Right, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I clicked on the wrong one there. Sorry. Yeah. Right. So
that's the one.
Yeah, my brain wasn't failing me. It was just only giving me half the information.
Oh, maybe he was blowing a shrimp.
Yeah, maybe that's what he was talking about. You know, when you suck the meat out of the tail. If you ever done that, or out of the claws. No? Oh, just me then.
Oh. Anything is possible.
Yeah. Well, I don't see why Putin would want photos of Trump eating shrimp, but I think it's got to be somebody else, definitely. Right, I'm going to play a song, the latest song from Ridiculizer.
Yep.
I think we might need to switch over to Rumble only after the hour, because I want to reference a news article or a news story that might trip up the algorithm.
Okay.
And I'd rather just not take the risk anyway, because, it says fucking about. So we'll play this song and then we'll fuck off the YouTube.
I'll share the link for the Rumble.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Click the link for the Rumble. And we'll go over there. I've got a couple of news stories I want to share, but the one in particular, I'm pretty certain it will even though things have changed a bit at YouTube, I still think it'll probably trick the algorithm up, because I haven't seen anyone else mention it on YouTube. And that might be because of the content, you know. Anyway, yeah, this is the latest track from Ridiculizer. I'll put a link in for his channel in a sec while we're listening to it. And then, yeah, follow the link over to Rumble. We'll see you there after the track's over. Back in about 4 minutes or so. One more time. Yeah, it's Roll the Dice from Ridiculizer. Hopefully you could see the link. I noticed you put the link in as well. That's cool, because I'm not sure if my link showed up.
Yeah, I think it did, but I put you
because
we hit it at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got a spanner next to my name.
No
Obviously,
spanner. Oh, then I don't
But-
know if you can see it.
but
Probably
even
not.
on my own channel, I'm not sure if it went through or not. But hopefully it did, and plus you linked it as well, so that's cool. And thank you.
Mhm.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna drop the YouTube feeds. We'll see you on the Rumble in a moment.
Yeah.
Click, and I click that one. Yeah, remove that one. And remove the other one as well.